Hello everyone, Space Oyster here, and welcome back to Boletaria. We are adventuring once again with Sunless Doom. Oh, I still like that name. Alright, anyway, in the last part, we did the first area of Boletaria Palace, which was, the description. A huge stone castle in the heart of the northern kingdom of Boletaria. Hungry soldiers whose souls have been stolen by demons attack trespassers. And I didn't get to finish the rest of that. I should have been more wary of my intentions, but whatever. Anyway, yeah. And like I said last time, off screen, I accidentally talked to Stockpile Thomas and gave him the thing back. He gave me the Ring of Herculean Strength, which just happened to be a ring he found on the side of the road. It's a ring that'll increase your maximum item burden, so I highly recommend having it on you at all times. So that way, if you're adventuring through a world and you start to pick up too many items, you can pop it on and then pick up a few more items before you have to exit out, either from dying or from completing the level. Anyway, when I ended the last part, the Maiden in Black gave us an assignment to head up these stairs and talk to the Monumental. A VIP lies in wait ahead. Ooh, boy, I can't wait to meet him. And yeah, he's the only one with a lit candle next to him.
We have long awaited you, Slayer of Demons. I am one of the Monumentals. We preserve the fabric of reality. There is something thou needest to know. Once, we too, a scourge of demons faced. In the distant past, under a benevolent rule, the world was united owing to the soul arts. Until a lust for power caused the awakening of the Old One. Across the land seeped a colorless, deep fog, and the world faced extinction at the hands of the demons. Thanks be, we were able to lull the Old One back to his slumber, yet only after the loss of innumerable souls, and half the world lost, erased by the fog. In order to mend the fabric of what land still remained, we entrusted 6 elders with 6 precious archstones. 1 to the king of a small yet diligent land. 1 to the king of the burrowers underground. 1 to the wise queen of the great ivory tower. 1 to the chieftain of lost and ill-fortuned souls. 1 to the shaman of the tempest-worshipping shadowmen. And the last to the great giants of the northern lands. The archstones were placed at nodes across the earth. We contained the Old One inside this nexus and banned the soul arts. Finally, we became monumentals, half-living sentinels of the fabric of reality. Alas, the other monumentals have perished, and only I remain.
By the power of the Monumentals, the 4 sealed archstones have been released.
Now it is your turn. You must lull the Old One back to its slumber and seal it away for all eternity. If not, the deep fog will absorb all that we know. Have you the strength to accept this mission?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yes, we are fortunate indeed to have you. Now, go forth and destroy every last demon. The Old One, without demons to feed its souls, will a new servant seek and lure you to its bosom.
Wait, I have to kill every last demon? Not just the men, but the women and the children? Oh, the humanity. Or I guess the demanity. Stone of Ephemeral Eyes. I don't know if I talked about that yet, but that item is the Demon Souls version of, well, I guess humanity in later Dark Souls games. So what it will do is basically return you to human form if you are a spirit. So if you have a Stone of Ephemeral Eyes with you, you can go through a level in soul form, wait until you get in front of the boss, and then pop that to return to human form to try and find someone to summon for the boss fight, or at least to attempt it with your health doubled. Alright, yes, let's touch the door to the Pantheon. This can only be accessed if you are able to access multiplayer. It's not really all that necessary. It just shows you the rankings of people who have accomplished things. Generally, it'll keep track of the people who have gotten the most souls, have been summoned the most, and people who have recently beaten the game and, gotten one ending or the other, I suppose. Or maybe it just keeps track of who did the good ending rather than the bad ending. Whatever. Anyway, point is you need to be connected to a server in order to be able to access the Pantheon, but since the only thing up here of note that for your own game is that Stone of Ephemeral Eyes, you're not missing out on much if you aren't able to get up here if you don't want to connect to a private server, which I can totally understand. It's my internet, leave me alone, I'll do with it what I want and all that fun stuff. Or maybe you just don't really care if you can play online or not. But regardless, let us continue forward. So the Nexus does have some jumping puzzles you can do, or I should say some dropping puzzles since you can't jump. And this right here demonstrates just how generous your fall distance is in this game. That would have killed me in Dark Souls. But yeah, they got some nice items up here. There's another one on the other side, but I don't feel like going for it. Oh, that was a dangerous place to drop down. What if I landed on Baldwin? Don't want to make him angry.
Have you met the last surviving monumental? Those fools revived the old one on a whim. And now they've trapped us here in the Nexus in a desperate attempt to undo their mistake. It's all a travesty if you ask me.
Is it now? Is it?
I can forge weapons for you for a fair price.
Oh, I already repaired my equipment. What am I doing? Again, I don't see any need to upgrade anything. I'm gonna buy some arrows, actually, before I level up. In the next level I'm going to, I'll be able to pick up a bow, and it will be nice to have the option for ranged attacks. One thing I've always found in Dark Souls is or any Souls game really, is you can often make things...
Do come back alive. I need your business.
You can make things more manageable.
Brave soul, who fears not death. Prithee, lull the old one back to its ancient slumber.
Eye stones temporarily connect the diffused worlds. Should you lose your physical form, remember the eye stone. The maiden controls inhuman souls. This power allows her to aid those who slay.
What is it? Dost thou seek soul power?
Yeah, sure, why not?
So be it. After all, thou requirest strength. Go forth, touch the demon inside me. Let these ownerless souls become thine own. Soul of the mind, key to life's ether. Soul of the lost, withdrawn from its vessel. Let strength be granted so the world might be mended. So the world might be mended. Art thou done? May thine strength help the world be mended.
So yeah, that's another thing I like about the souls as currency thing about Demon Souls.
Oh, you must be another disciple of God. I too am on a quest to fight the demons in the name of the Lord. May I share God's power with you? Do not be bashful. We are both cut from the same cloth.
So much to talk about. So this guy will teach you miracles, but you have to have at least 10 faith for him to be able to teach you stuff. Most miracles are going to just be support-oriented stuff to either heal you or to apply a buff.
I see. You wish to train yourself in stoicism. Very well. I pray we meet again.
Alright, and then there's this guy as well.
I have sinned. I swore allegiance to Saint Urbain, but was of no use to him. And now I have run away and abandoned his honorableness.
I don't know if that's really a sin, but whatever. Anyway, I guess I should go over the Maiden in Black first, and then what I was saying about bows. But first, let's talk to this guy.
What do you want, brute? I have no use for miscreants like yourself. Away with you.
Well, ain't he friendly? You have to have at least, I think, either 10 magic or 10 intelligence before he'll sell you spells. Anyway, let's go to the Phalanx Archstone. Archstone of the Demon Phalanx. Past the huge Boletarian castle gates lies the cliff passway, now a feeding ground for dragons, which leads to the inner ward, where the knights live. So with the Maiden in Black, that chant she was saying while I was leveling up, it pretty much implies, or rather confirms, that what she does with the souls that you pay her to level up is she attaches them to your own soul to make yours stronger, and that's how the leveling up works. And it's one thing I for Demon Souls compared to Dark Souls and Bloodborne is that, again, it's a contextualized reason for why the souls strengthen you, whereas in those other games they don't really contextualize it, or at least not as far as I'm aware. Maybe there is something that explains it in Demon Souls and Bloodborne and all that, but I wouldn't know. It also points out how your character is able to keep their sanity while even when they've died multiple times and lost all the souls that you built up multiple times. It's that their own personal soul is still intact. So that's also why enemies are still drawn to and attack you, because they want to steal your soul. They're like a Yu-Gi-Oh villain. And then, anyway, the other thing I was trying to get to about ranged weapons is I've often found in the Souls series you can make things easier by being able to increase your range. So fighting enemies at whatever range you're comfortable with rather than what they are, or what they force you to.
Look at me. Again surrounded by evil warriors. Could you, perhaps, help me one last time? Clear out the soldiers at the far end of this passage, if it pleases you. The Lord's Path, just down yonder, has degenerated into a feeding ground for flying dragons. Have your wits about you.
Yeah, I can hear them swooping around outside. But anyway, Ostrava, you and I both know this isn't going to be the last time. But for me, being able to fight with a bow or spells more than a bow, to be perfectly honest, that is something that that just clicks with me. So when I have more range to work with, then I find I personally do a lot better. And it's part of the reason why I want to have a good bow to work with. Oh, come on. This guy is just positioned so horribly. I hate it. You know what? No, screw this. Screw this. I have a better solution for dealing with you than trying to get behind you, because I can't do that. Any minute now. Come on. Yeah, we're just gonna throw fire in your face. How do you like them apples? But having a bow also allows you to deal with level hazards in a much easier manner. Aww. Yeah, there's a treasure chest with nothing inside. Since it allows you to engage enemies from a range they can't counterattack. And in most cases, you can pick them off from a safe distance without ever having to put yourself in danger. which could be something that you may want to do to make the game, the Souls games easier for yourself. It's much tougher to do that in Bloodborne, but Bloodborne is just one of those games where you pretty much have to get better at the physical combat or the melee combat or whatever, but Bloodborne is pretty easy to adapt to. Anyway, I didn't get a chance to talk about it, but that is the main hazard for this level, is that we're going to have to cross this bridge while the dragons constantly swoop across it. Well, just the one red dragon. He's just going to constantly breathe fire along the pathway we just crossed, and he'll start to do it with the next crossway as we start to go across it. It's very annoying, and it also makes the dragon come across as very stupid, because it's just going to keep doing that even though you would think it would be aware of us being up here rather than on the walkway. Wooden catalyst, yay! Sniper's perch, but I don't have a bow. I have a crossbow, but it's pretty much useless against these things. I don't even know if I can two-hand the crossbow to aim with it. Anyway, I don't feel like dodging fire right now, so I'm just gonna go down. Maybe the dragon will stop doing that, so that way it isn't so loud. Alright, so yeah, Ostrava is to the left, but I actually want to go forward first. Ostrava, once he's freed, he's going to wander around the level a bit. He's never going to go into the pathway of the dragon, but he is going to wander around down here and then go upstairs at one of the two areas. So I want to clear this out so that way he doesn't get himself killed. Ooh, actually, one quick thing I want to talk about up here. If you press onward. Down there, I believe that is the main city of Boletaria, but its layout actually reminds me more of the Undead Burg from Dark Souls. I need to pay more attention. I can see that guy clearly in the recording as I'm doing my commentary, but I couldn't see him when I was playing. But yeah, that area down there that we could see from up here, it definitely looked like Dark Souls' Undead Burg, and I find that rather neat. I wonder if that's really what they base the Undead Burg on. Oh crap. So yeah, 4 puppies. Dogs are as annoying in this game as they are in every other Souls game, as you can see here. Well, actually, these ones are a little more primitive and thus easier to deal with. Oh my gosh, I just noticed it's wearing a mask with horns on it. That is adorable, and it makes perfect sense too. Anyway, we got a couple more puppies to deal with. Ow. Yeah, but these guys can tear you limb from limb. They're very dangerous. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, just that area down there seemed like it was looked like the Undead Burg. So maybe that is how they started designing Dark Souls, but I wouldn't be too sure about that since Dark Souls has a different publisher than Demon Souls. There were limits on how much could be carried over from this game into its sequel.
Ah, we meet again. Fancy that. Hope you find something that suits you.
Or I guess I should say spiritual successor. Anyway, do you have anything I want? Bolts, I suppose, but I'm not going to be sticking my crossbow long, so no reason to grab those.
It is the end of Great Boletaria as we know it. But hell, at least the demons don't send us to our deaths in battle.
Oh, he just said the same thing.
Hard times, eh? I'm sure you'll turn things around.
I'm sure I will. Anyway, oh yeah, one other thing I was going to talk about is actually the hit point reduction in Demon Souls. So, the penalty, as it were, for being dead is that you have half your total health. But that's not as much of a penalty as it would seem. Much of the game was designed around you being in soul form and thus having half of your total health. So even when you're even if you're not in human form like I am right now, the game should be manageable since the enemies are dealing damage that has been scaled around you being at half your total health. So human form really increases your odds rather than being in soul form decreasing those odds. I mean, I guess soul form technically does, like that would have nearly killed me if I wasn't in human form, but whatever. Whatever. So, being in human form does give you some sort of, like, inherent, cushion, I suppose, to try and make a boss attempt easier, but that also runs the risk of you getting invaded by another player if you're playing online. There aren't any NPC invaders that you have to worry about, or, well, I guess they technically do have NPC invaders, but they're already in the world, so they're gonna be there no matter what you do. So, yeah, you have no way to avoid the NPCs, but fortunately they're pretty simplistic and easy to deal with. And then a few of them only show up when you're at pure black world tendency anyway. That's weird, I can still hear dogs. So, yeah, don't worry too much if you die a lot in Demon Souls. You don't have to be alive to have your best odds. You can beat the game just fine in spirit form without ever even equipping the Cling Ring. It just makes things easier for yourself. Personally, though, I do prefer the way Dark Souls 3 handled it with Embering, since that would just increase your maximum health rather than it displaying that you aren't at a supposed maximum health. Embering was a pretty neat thing, but this is probably going to be a pretty cold take here, but I also feel like Dark Souls 1 handled when or where you can return to human form the best, since that game only lets you do it at bonfires. So you'd have to travel through most of the level in order to get back to your, in order to attempt a boss in your strongest state or with the help from multiplayer. Let's see, what else to bring up?
Thank you. That makes twice. Thanks to you, I can now forge ahead. This is a token of my gratitude. Please accept it.
Dark Moon Grass? That stuff is rare!
This is bad. Not a single person left. Why on earth? How did all of this happen? Father!
Yeah. Astrava's not very good at keeping secrets, is he? Well, whatever. If you haven't figured it out yet, I'm not gonna spoil it quite yet. Unless he dies, but I think that's unlikely. He is still going to wander around, though, if I happen to get killed. So if you rescue Astrava, make sure that you are able to defeat the level soundly. I might have rescued him too quickly, since I still got a few other things to deal with here. So, yeah, that could be bad. Hopefully nothing bad happens. Let's see. Well, in any case... Oh yeah, one other thing I could bring up that I actually noticed one of the enemies doing is that this scimitar I have equipped, it can cause bleeding damage. So bleeding in Demon Souls kind of works pretty much like poison. It'll build up a gauge. Ew, that's loud. Anyway, it'll build up a gauge, and when that gauge fills up, the person who is inflicted with it will start bleeding, and then they'll just slowly lose health. I think it only works on people who obviously have blood. It's safe here. Right, and I believe this guy here, he was killed by... Yeah, he was killed by the fire, so that cart is not safe. Let's wait for the dragon to go. Running! Run, 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 run! Right, it's swooping. Of course, you have to be very careful over here because look at this. There are 2 crossbowmen up top, 3 down here, and a blue-eye knight nearby, and we can't retreat backwards because there's a dragon at our back. Ugh. But fortunately, this blue-eye knight seems to be pretty passive. and yeah, I'm just noticing a lot of the little sound effects out here. I can hear their armor clanking as they move around, and there's a noise that I can only describe as sparkling going on. That is going to be a little creature we will see in just a bit. I'm not going to spoil the surprise on that either, but trust me, it'll show up soon enough. It sounds like the archers up top are readjusting themselves. I should really play this with headphones, because, oh my gosh, this is so informative, being able to hear stuff. And these Blue-Eye Knights are a lot stronger than the ones we encountered in the first part of Boletaria. I believe well, my guess would be that the developers expected people to have leveled up a bit before coming here, so they made the enemies stronger. But as you may have noticed from the last part, is that I could have continued on past the Phalanx Archstone before returning to the Nexus. Aha! So that was making the sparkling noise. This is a crystal lizard. Crystal lizards, they are unique enemies that will only spawn a select number of times in each world, and they drop upgrade materials. Regardless of whether or not you kill them, they will vanish from your world until you reload, but they only have a limited number of lives. They have an initial life when you first encounter them, and then they can respawn at once after you've beaten each boss in the area. So, excuse me. For example, if I were to exit out and then come back into this area, that crystal lizard would respawn one more time for now, since I've beaten Phalanx, but no other bosses here in the Boletaria Palace. And if I beat the next boss, then he can respawn 2 more times. Same goes for every other crystal lizard in this area. So that's... I don't really like that they completely despawn if I fail to kill them. That's just unnecessarily cruel. Oh my, that's a big boy. And that guy's ugly, but I like his hat. Oh, don't you think this is a bit overkill? I am one dude who is not wearing a shirt. And yet you brought an entire battalion of archers and this gigantic stinking knight just to take on little old me. Who do you think you're dealing with? So yeah, this is the Tower Knight boss fight, and the basic strategy here is you first want to take out these crossbow peoples, and then focus on dealing with the knight. The Tower Knight, he can attack from a distance, as you're seeing here, and as long as we are out of his range, he is going to spam that long-ranged attack. The tricky part here is that I can't quite deal with these archers very quickly, and they are on the very edges there. So my attacks tend to knock them off, but the fall isn't large enough to kill them. So, yeah. Leave me alone. I don't want to play with you right now. You're too big anyway. You're gonna break the seesaw. I don't know what I'm going on about. Anyway, yeah, the thing that's probably going to make this fight complicated from this point forward. Ooh, hey, look, I can see the dragon flying about. Anyway, it's going to be complicated that most of those archers fell down rather than me being able to kill them. Let's see. I suppose I could try to shoot them. I did pack a bunch of arrows for just such an occasion. It's almost like I knew I was going to get a bow. I didn't know I was going to get a bow. I played this game before, but still. Alright, well, I'm going to shoot ya. I missed. Let's try again. Come on, come on. Did that seriously get stuck in these stone steps? I wasn't even aiming at that. Yeah. So this is the funny thing you notice about the Souls games when you try to go for an archer build like this, is that the walls and such have very weird hitboxes. Oh, crap. And that second shot missed. It wasn't even worth the risk. No. But yeah, and then shooting at the Tower Knight like this is a good way to cheese him, since his one and only attack is very easy to dodge. So you can easily and safely deal with him just like this. But oh, come on, come on. Yeah, I kind of don't want to go down there because there are just so many archers. Yeah. But you know what? I'm getting bored. Let's just go down there, kill the archers, and then we're gonna fight the Tower Knight mano-y-mano. Alright, well, let's see if I can safely shoot them. Really? I wasn't even shooting from that angle. Ugh. Alright, so that guy's down. That guy's down. Now we have to be careful of what the Tower Knight's gonna do, because as you can imagine, he can hit pretty hard. Ow! Sadly, no friendly fire between enemies. Alright, so they're all dead. We're gonna need an opportunity to heal, because I like being at full health. There we go. So, the Tower Knight's primary attacks are going to just be various types of shock waves. He rarely seems to swing that spear around. Ah! No! Why did you do that? You are so mean, Mr. Tower Knight. Well, it's fine. I know how to deal with you. But anyway, if you have a blunt weapon like a mace, those will actually work pretty well against the Tower Knight here. Oh crap. Simply because he's wearing heavy armor, blunt weapons seem to work better against him. So if you have a mace or something like that, you should be able to damage him pretty well. But his weak spot is his head, so that's why using a bow gives you a pretty good advantage against this guy. You can just go right for the headshots from a safe area, and even if you don't get them, his body will still take more damage than his feet. But if you attack his feet enough, he will fall over. So if you want to fight him in melee, or up close, you can do that. You just keep swiping at his feet and until, yeah, they start foaming, I guess that's the right word. And then he should eventually fall over. Oh boy, I'm getting low on health. I don't like it. Eat! Yeah, when in doubt, grass. Oh, I thought that was gonna hit me. Yes. One thing I hate about scimitars is that when I accidentally press forward and then it does this slidey backsteppy thingy instead of actually attacking. But that is a bad habit I just need to get out of when playing Souls games. Alright, come on, come on. Ow. And then sometimes I actually don't go to this part of Boletaria Palace right after the first part. Normally I actually go to another archstone that's good for an early game weapon before going here. Simply because now that the other archstones are open, I do like to have that stronger option. Anyway, since we've already knocked him over once, we can keep nipping at his heels, and he should fall down faster than last time. And then, of course, the main thing to watch out for is to not get stepped on. Fortunately, if you're right behind his shield as he starts to turn around, it will actually move you about. You just have to be careful that he doesn't pick it up and then slam it right back down. then as for, well, the Tower Knight boss itself, well, rather, not about the Tower Knight itself, but rather a Bloodborne boss. The one Reborn that you fight in Bloodborne is pretty similar mechanically to the Tower Knight. The main boss is in the main arena, and it is surrounded by a bunch of mooks that can shoot ranged attacks at you. So, ow. So Bloodborne basically did a small callback to Demon Souls by designing a boss that is mechanically similar to this guy, which I find was very neat. Of course, the one Reborn, it's a giant grotesque mask of a conglomeration of human bodies, and the Tower Knight is just really, really big. So, yeah. They're exactly the same thing, more or less, right? Right. Okay, here we go. He fell over, and we should only need to hit him one more time. So let's do it! Ew. That was lagging quite a bit. Oh, that's not a bad sign. I did try to play well, my brother-in-law's copy of Demon Souls once, and yeah, it didn't work for me. Anyway, we got the Iron Demon Soul. That can be used to get some really defensive... thick, colorless fog holds you back. Only those who have slain an archdemon may pass beyond this point. Yeah, so we're gonna have to go to one of the other worlds to slay an archdemon. So even if you did proceed directly past the Phalanx Archstone before returning to the Nexus, you are going to have to return to the Nexus before you can complete Boletaria Palace. Let's see. Well, I don't think I have anything new to talk about, so I'll call that. Yeah, I'll call that here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.